The mayor in Boston, Michelle Wu, she was criticized last year because she suggested giving illegals, even as young as 11 years old, voting rights. Then in December of 2023, she hosted a secret elected of color holiday party, and white officials were not allowed to attend. And she said her city will not cooperate with Donald Trump's mass deportation effort, despite ICE rounding up 4 alleged child rapists and also a suspected member of the MS-13 gang.
Yeah, well, there was this guy that was in a Chick-fil-A, because this could add to a resume, was at a Chick-fil-A, and he was in an active, he was caught trying to stab 2 people. Mayor Wu, then he ended up getting killed by an off-duty cop. Mayor Wu expressed condolences to the attacker. Listen to her.
My condolences and all of our thoughts are with the family of the individual whose life has been lost. And I'm also thinking of all the people who were impacted here today in one of the busier parts of the city with this tragedy.
I dare her. She's flanked behind her. You see all these cops.
Right.
And this person tried to take on cops. And she offers condolences to the person that was trying. I don't care about the person that tried to stab the cop. If he died as a result of it, offer him Christ, and, you know, he's going to have his judgment day. But, I mean, it's just not common sense to do that.
Well, here's what makes no sense. So you're looking at Back Bay, the really nice neighborhood in downtown Boston, and this couple was being chased down the street by a man with a knife, threatening to kill him. They ran into the Chick-fil-A to seek shelter, and there was an off-duty cop in there, and the off-duty cop pulls out a gun and tells the guy to put the knife down, and he didn't do it, and he shot the person who was trying to kill the people. And so that is the family that that the mayor is apologizing to and sending condolences to. The family of the guy with the knife who tried to kill, it sounds like at least 2 people, maybe 3, maybe 10.
Just so liberal.
It's upside down.
Suffolk County, Massachusetts District Attorney Kevin Hayden, his office is leading the post-shooting investigation. He offered thoughts and prayers to the unidentified assailant's family and friends, too. What is going on?
And finally, before we leave,
they lose.
When those mayors go in front of the panel, Steve, those Ivy League presidents got consulted by attorneys. And they were scripted by their attorneys. So these mayors should watch it.
Can't help
they
you.
look like they're trying to, avoid a lawsuit like these were, or arrogantly say, this is what the people want.
Right.
Well, it's people outside your little bubble, I'm pretty sure have moved past.
Well, Brian, I think what they're going to do is they're going to say, our city charter says we have to do this. And so the lawyers tell me that's all I can do. Eric Adams, he's going to sit down and he's going to say, look, he's going to be able to say, hey, I'm cooperating with the Trump administration because I signed that executive order that allowed ICE to return to Rikers Island. But the others, they're going to be right down to the letter of the law as their protection.
So the follow-up question is then, if they say the city charter is this way, are you going to change it? Like, you can't just
And then they're going to say, well, I need the whole council.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but we have your support of changing the charter so we can arrest criminal migrants, right?
You know? Brian was saying, don't let them in the country. If they're here illegally, get them out. And Mayor Adams said, if they're here in our city, he said, because we're a sanctuary city, if they're paying taxes, even if they're illegal, they should have the right to hospitals and the police and all of our services. But he said, if they're criminals, I support ICE going in.
That's where he draws the line.
The problem is they will back up their statements. Everything we think is outrageous and gotcha, no, they want to be got.
They'll have answers.
But their answers are, I am for illegal immigrants in here. I am for giving the Heisman to ICE. And that's where it's all going to, the facts will indict them.
The Heisman to ICE or the Iceman to ICE?
Let them keep doing it. They'll lose elections. I mean, it's just common sense.
But not in these cities. Republicans don't run anybody.
So
that's a good point,
it's going to be fireworks on Capitol Hill on Wednesday.
You'll see it. Running.
You'll see it here.
Here's your Republican.
So meanwhile, you got an off-duty police officer coming to the rescue, stopping a knife attack inside of a busy Chick-fil-A. Happened in Boston. The suspect shot dead after ignoring repeated commands to drop the weapon. But instead of thanking the officer, the Democratic mayor offered condolences to the families of the dead suspect. Some folks got a problem with that. Molly Lyon follows that story in Boston. What happened, Molly? Hello.
Good morning, Bill. The mayor of Boston, a Democrat, is getting smashed on social media for her reaction in this case after expressing her condolences to the man who, according to investigators, had been attempting to stab several people inside of this Chick-fil-A in Boston, prompting an off-duty police officer to shoot the knife-wielding suspect, ultimately leading to the accused attacker's death. Here is Boston Mayor Michelle Wu Saturday night near the scene.
My condolences and all of our thoughts are with the family of the individual whose life has been lost. And I'm also thinking of all the people who were impacted here today in one of the busier parts of the city with this tragedy. I'm glad that the officer is safe and very grateful for a quick response from all of our first responders here.
The local DA and the Boston Police Commissioner also offered their condolences. Commissioner Michael Cox described how it all started Saturday afternoon with two people running into the Chick-fil-A being chased by a man with a knife attempting to stab them. The off-duty officer identified himself as a police officer, telling the attacker to drop the weapon. The man did not comply. The officer fired his gun to stop the threat. The suspect was hit. He later died.
We're proud of police officers who activate themselves, whether it's on duty or off duty, to try to save lives. But we're asking for the public support and help. If anyone was here, it's a pretty busy area, to contact us.
Among those slamming Mayor Wu, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, writing on X, condolences from the mayor of Boston, wait for it, to a knife-wielding man trying to kill people. Thankfully, this guy was stopped in his tracks by a brave law enforcement officer. Notably, Mace sits on the House Oversight Committee. That is the committee that Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is slated to testify before later on this week. She's expected to defend the status of Boston as a sanctuary city, and Wu often touts Boston as the safest major city in the country. Bill?
Okay, full follow it. Molly, thanks. Molly Line in Boston on that. Thank you. Dana?
Carly Shimkus and Jimmy Fela join us here. And
morning, guys.
she's going to be on the Hill this week talking about immigration.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, she's the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to talking points, but the poor city of Boston.
Yeah, it's going to be a fiery hearing with the Oversight Committee later this week, so certainly something to watch out for. This is a classic progressive ideology on full display, where the criminal is the victim and the actual victim is an afterthought. And I think you can make a connection between that line of thinking and why Donald Trump is in office. And for a mayor, no matter what you think, this is a very easy situation to respond to. You say, my thoughts are with the victims who went through a terrifying ordeal. Any loss of life is a tragedy, but we're so grateful for the police for defending the innocent victims here. So you could say, maybe was this a stumble on her behalf, or like I said, is this her ideology? Given past positions that she's taken, I'm pretty sure it's easy to say that it is the latter in this case with her.
I think the compass is broken in these cities comparative to the rest of us. Like, if you look at her popularity within the city of Boston, it's not that bad. She's actually winning in her re-election bid against Josh Kraft right now. So they don't see the world through the lens we do. The rest of the country grew up playing two games in their backyard. They played cops and robbers, cowboys and Elizabeth Warrens. But when you were playing when you were playing cops and robbers, you knew the cops were the good guys, the robbers were the bad guys. This is a basic broken compass issue that only exists in blue cities. And to your point, the election showed us that, because outside of the cities themselves, Trump won the whole map.